Since we've been using Fix It Grammar for a while, I thought I'd come on and maybe share a couple tips or things that I've learned from it. One of the first things I want to share is I've got questions before about choosing the level for Fix It Grammar, and I think you can go on and see samples of them on their website. When my daughter was 9, we started with level 1, which they call nose tree, and I have no regrets for that because it moves pretty quickly and it allowed us to kind of start from the basics, get a lot of review and practice, and then while it got harder, it wasn't like overwhelming. And I'll say we're about 3/4 of the way into the book, and I have to use the teacher's manual to edit it myself. So I really don't think that picking at level 1 is a bad thing. Like if you want to start from the basics and work your way up, do it. The other thing I was going to share with you is there's a section right here where they can write their sentence. And before I started our copy work related to our novels, I was actually using that as the handwriting. So don't be afraid to combine the two. I tell my daughter that she can write it in print, but it has to be her best print. And actually her print has improved. So, I mean, it works as a handwriting, copying that passage, and they're doing it every day. So if you decide to use this for handwriting and not something else, I think that works really well. The last thing I wanted to share is the vocabulary word. So every day they're supposed to look up this vocabulary word in the dictionary. So I've taught her the skills of how to look up a word in the dictionary. She knows how to do it, and we practiced it at the beginning. She was looking up every single word and copying down the definition and the part of speech, and I was checking that for her. Eventually, it kind of became a fuss. It frustrated her a lot because looking up words isn't easy. And she one day says to me, "Why do I have to look it up if I know what it means?" And I thought, well, that is a good point. So, always learning here. Even from my own children, now I don't make her look it up. If she can tell me the definition based on her own knowledge or from the context, then she does not look it up in the dictionary. But if she can't, then I ask her to look it up. And that has been a big weight off of her shoulders and mine, trying to encourage her to use the dictionary. So that's a good little tip right there. One more thing. Every day I checked it with her. So I would start with the first thing and I would see if she had it. And once we had it and talked about it, I'd check it. And then we move on to the next thing. We'd look at it and fix it if we need to, and I would check it. And we did that every single day together. And that same process, using another color, and she would watch me do it. And eventually I said, okay, now you do it. And so she would use the colored pen and I would be right there with her. Well, just this week, I just handed her the teacher's manual and I said, here, check your work. And she did. And I was like, yay, I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm still in the room with her, but that's just something off my plate. And she gets practice checking her own work. So I feel like that's a win-win right there.